somebody asked me the question if you can get a debt consolidation loan with Navy Federal with bad credit. And the answer to that is yes, all right? But here's the thing about it, because I've seen people with an 800 credit score and they wouldn't give them a loan. So Navy Federal is really one of those relationship-based type of credit unions, right? So if you have bad credit, but you've been with them a long time, you have multiple accounts. Now, one account I would tell you that will not make a difference, and a lot of people get hung up on this, especially when it comes to loans. If you're trying to assume that adding a pledge loan on your credit file is going to help you get a personal loan with Navy Federal, that pledge loan has nothing to do with you getting a consolidated loan or a personal loan. And that's one thing I keep telling people, is because the pledge loan is only to help you with credit cards, okay? But when it comes to like consolidated loans or things of that nature, it's not there for it. Now, I'm going to tell you some of the key things that you actually can do that will help you get a consolidated loan. And it is like kind of like your internal score, but it's more or less focused on just the relationship. Like if you were able to have like direct deposit. Now, I know that some of you guys may be doing DoorDash, or you may be just entrepreneurs just starting your business out, just sole props and stuff like that, and you're not on payroll, so you're not able to do direct deposits and things like that. So that's why I tell you that we can actually set that up for you, because a lot of people, they miss the opportunity to raise more capital just because they won't structure the business. They won't put themselves on payroll, so they miss out on the opportunity to get access to more money. Because a lot of lenders out there, if you can show that you're a structured business on payroll, even if you have bad credit, they'll still give you funding, all right? Now, in terms of Navy Federal, yes, you can do stated income, okay, even with collateral loans. So that's the good part about it. But what helps you is like if you have the direct deposit. Now, since the pledge loan won't help you to get qualified for a consolidated loan, then you may look at like a CD or a money market account, all right? Those also will help you. The reason is because those actually show long term. So the longer you're invested with Navy Federal, the easier it is for you to get access to more capital, even with bad credit. Now, an rewards card, yes, that will help. Okay, that will help. Now, one of the things I would tell you guys before you even go after the consolidated loan, I always try to tell you, why don't you try to get their lowest interest credit card, which is their platinum credit card. Usually it hovers around 1.9 or 0%, right? So that way you can actually transfer the balance of that credit card over to like one of their Go cards or something, their Go card, their Go card, and then actually utilize it that way, right? Now, by you maxing that card out, will that bring your credit score down? Yeah, that will. All right. But one of the things that I'm going to share with you that most people don't know now, because of this new FICO score 10T trending. All right. So what it is like, and there's not many institutions that actually use the FICO score 10T. All right. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because whenever you take out a consolidated loan, okay, what happens when you use a consolidated loan to actually pay off like credit cards and stuff like that, then that affects your trending scores, okay? Because basically it's just showing you just transferring debt and you're not actually paying it off, all right? And so again, there's not that many lenders out there that use FICO score 10T trending, so you don't really have to worry about it. But if it pops up, you would probably know, okay, they they looked at my TNT and it showed that I just transferred the debt. All right, so that's basically what's going to happen. Now, in terms of, granted that the loans go from $250 up to $50,000, and it pulls TransUnion FICO 9. All right, so it is a low-hanging fruit. Again, Navy Federal, they're not really focused on the credit score more than they are focused on you actually having multiple accounts with them. And like one of the key things, again, going back to the direct deposit, that's a very key thing when it's talking about more loans and stuff like that. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. If you can't get the Navy Federal, why do I always tell you about these tribal lenders? Okay. So with the tribal lenders, sorry about that. With the tribal lenders, the interest rates, yes, they're going to be much higher because they're not regulated, right? However, they may have more flexibility even than Navy Federal, all right? And the reason is because like with Navy Federal, you have to jump through hoops just to become a member, all right? Now, it's good that you may have a 550, 580 credit score. Navy Federal may start you out with a credit card. But when you're trying to get out of credit card debt and stuff like that, you definitely trying to find a lender that's going to work with you. So that's the reason I was telling you guys about like Max Personal Loans, because Max Personal Loan is a tribal lender, right? And granted, they're not in all 50 states, all right? They're not in all 50 states, but the flexibility with them versus you trying to go to another lender and stuff. Now, another thing that gets people caught up, like say with Navy Federal, if your DTI is over 55%, that also may slow you down from getting funding with Navy Federal. All right. Now, you can also try PenFed. Now, with PenFed, you're usually going to have about a 620, 640 credit score. Now, if you have bad credit and you're trying to get a consolidated loan, which I talked about in another video, then I always tell you, you have to garden a relationship with like PenFed. All right. So you have to garden it for at least 2 to 3 months. That's going to help you. Now, you also have like Avant, right? And so with Avant, they offer loans from $2,000 up to $35,000, but again, they have a little more flexibility, especially when you have bad credit and you can't get in with Navy Federal. You need to turn somewhere. I tell you another thing that people still sleep on, and it's 100% true. When you have a job and you have bad credit, you need to go to your HR and file exempt so they can stop taking taxes out, so that way you can actually have enough money to catch up on some bills. Even just taking out a loan from your 401k to pay off some debts and stuff like that, that's still an option. Now, some of you all may have money out there you don't even know. You can go to unclaimed.org. You can go to unclaimed.org, put your name and your address and stuff in to see if you have some money out there. This is the type of stuff that I'm always trying to let people know. You may not have to always go for a high interest rate loan. You may have money out there. You may have a loved one that has money out there. And you can say, hey, if I show you where you got some money at or whatever, because there are companies out there that actually will approach you like that. They'll send out a letter, hey, we found some money that belongs to you, but we want a percentage or whatever. That's a little side business you probably can start for yourself. I'm always trying to figure out ways to put money in your pocket. I understand that, hey, when we don't have family members and friends and a little nest egg set aside in case of emergencies or whatever, we need to do something. So that's the reason I'm always trying to tell you guys about these different resources. So I hope that this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video.